The Pyramid is an American supernatural horror film that was released in 2014 and is based on found footage. Miles and a father-daughter archaeologist duo are the focus of the film's plot. A one-of-a-kind three-sided pyramid that has been buried for 5,000 years beneath the Egyptian desert is discovered by Nora Holden. Things take a surprising turn for them when they enter the pyramid and find themselves ensnared in the intricate structure and confronted with predators that are hungry for blood. The film, which is set in Cairo, Egypt, in August 2013, begins with a prologue that explains that a group of American archaeologists found a new pyramid deep in the desert. A documentary crew arrived in Egypt to document one of the most significant archaeological finds in Egyptian history, despite the chaos caused by the Egyptians. Based on a true story, the following describes the events that took place at the location. The movie opens with a Sunni newswoman showing a pyramid that is hidden in a vast desert 250 miles south of Cairo. She reveals that Dr. Miles Holden's groundbreaking research will soon be available to the general public. Sunni is sure that Miles and his girl, Nora, could revamp history, as they have found a three-sided pyramid, rather than the standard Giza pyramids that are four-sided. Dog barking interrupts Sunni as she continues to discuss the singularity of this architectural feat. She then conducts an interview with Dr. Miles Holden and asks him to describe the specific things he is looking for in the pyramid. Miles explains that there are sure antiquated texts which allude to the geographic region as the conceivable site of the lost pyramid of Akhenaten, which might be connected with the specific and surprising three-sided design of the pyramid. Nora Holden, Miles' daughter, explains on camera after the interview that the three-sided pyramid is not King Akhenaten's pyramid, rather, the structure they are dealing with is buried below the surface. She explains that the pyramid's structure was built generations before Akhenaten's reign, because it takes millennia for sand to build that high. At the point when Sunni inquires Nora about why archaeologists are against the satellites, she explains that most archaeologists are caught in with regards to modifying strategies and acclimatizing new proof into existing verifiable systems. Also, she adds that demonstrating a more established lineage for Egyptian history implies tossing their long-lasting examination into question, which is the reason archaeologists are against satellites. A scan that demonstrates that the majority of the three-sided pyramid is buried deep beneath the desert is shown to Sunni by Miles and Nora on a satellite. In order to enter the pyramid, they have discovered a tunnel that leads directly to its summit. Miles' team is interested in learning more about this unusual pyramid because pyramids typically do not have apexes or tips. According to Nora, she was inspired to break ground by reading an article about the New Mexico-based Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence team's discovery of water traces on Mars through satellite technology. Nora laughs when Sunni asks her about her thoughts about aliens visiting Earth through pyramids, because she denies such a theory. Miles asks Nora and Sunni to concentrate on archaeology, rather than discussing satellites, because they don't really matter. However, Sunni lets him know that the entire satellite point intrigued the organization, as it is the beginning of another age in archaic exploration, utilizing the future to figure out the past. Miles is enraged because he believes that all of the technological mediation has obscured the authentic experience of archaeology. The scene slices to the pyramid place where Nora is guaranteeing her mom on a call that she will be fine on the mission to unwind the mystery of the covered pyramid. Shorty, a remote-controlled rover vehicle built by her boyfriend and teammate, robotics engineer Michael Zahir, angers her at that moment. Shorty is a metallic rover that stands 1 foot tall and has 6 wheels. It uses a suspension system that NASA originally designed for their Mars rovers. After sending the footage inside the pyramid, it is set to send it back to the command center in real time. The Egyptians who were requested to break through the tunnel inform Miles the following day that they have gained entry into the pyramid. Miles' group rushes to the passage alongside Sunni and her news-revealing group. Aspergillus, a fungus typically found in tombs and caves, is released into the smoke when the final hit is delivered by an explosion. After inhaling the toxic air, a member experiences a panic attack and is taken to the hospital right away. Miles learns shortly after the explosion that the Ministry of Antiquities has instructed all of the research teams in the vicinity to evacuate and clear the area within 24 hours. This is because the protests in Cairo against foreigners invading their pyramids have caused chaos and widespread violence. Miles gives in and decides to leave the desert by morning, but Nora convinces him to send Shorty to the pyramid at least to see what's going on. Shadid, the Egyptian captain, advises the team to board the plane as soon as possible, and Zahir, the team's only Arabic-speaking member, assures Shaddad that they will depart soon. Shorty is finally sent into the pyramid to map the inside. Zahir is in charge of the $3 million remote-controlled vehicle that has multiple types of meters and is equipped with them. When it enters the pyramid, it emits very little harmful fumes. Osiris, the god of the afterlife and also regarded by Egyptians as the first pharaoh, is depicted on the walls of the pyramid. The crew is taken aback when the rover is suddenly attacked by something. The dog must have entered through the opening, according to Zahir. He pushes the rover further inside, but all of a sudden it stops working, and Zahir loses all control from outside. Zahir insists on entering the pyramid to retrieve the $1 million rover that NASA has loaned him, despite Miles' resistance. Miles concedes, but he states that only he and Zahir will be permitted entry into the pyramid. But Nora and Suni don't like it, so they get Miles to take them inside. Miles is reminded by them that they are all part of a team and should cooperate. Shaddad, an Egyptian soldier, loses his cool and starts yelling at Miles' team when he sees them getting ready to enter the pyramid. Zahir tells him what's going on and asks him to let them get their expensive rover. Finally, Shaddad lets them in and gives them 2 hours to get their rover back and get moving. Finally, Fitzy, Miles' cameraman, Zahir, Suni, and Miles enter the pyramid to record her diary. Nora also brings her own camera. Miles keeps reminding the group not to touch anything as soon as they enter the ancient structure, which is unstable and could collapse at any time. Zahir is worried about finding the rover's broken piece further inside the pyramid and worries that NASA will be mad at him. After that, Nora jumps into a hole that leads up the pyramid and finds a tomb. The entire team goes into it and looks at the buildings there. Nora decides to take a sample from a metallic structure containing dried blood. The team decides to leave the tunnel and get a new wire when Nora notices that Miles' wire has snapped. But they soon get lost, and Zahir comes across Shorty in a room there. However, the room's unstable floor gives way beneath the 5 of them, sending them 90 feet below the surface into a strange area with a musty odor. Zahir's leg is crushed beneath a massive piece of debris that suddenly falls on him. Zahir screams in agony as the rest of the team fails to remove the debris from his leg. Suni finds a shaft and chooses to climb it to leave the pyramid and look for help for Zahir. She is attacked and scratched on the face by a sneaky creature as she tries to climb back up, so she has to retreat. After reading the carvings on a door Miles finds, it turns out to be a warning sign asking people not to enter. He advises remaining inside the tomb until the soldier appears to be searching for them. But because Zahir won't have much time, Nora says she won't wait and will look for another way out. Before leaving Zahir alone, the team unlocks the door and Nora kisses him, gives him a torch, and promises to return to save him. They hear Zahir's screams as the team heads out to find a way out and seek assistance from the Egyptian soldier. Miles and Nora race to help Zahir, leaving Suni and Fitz just to find his cut-off leg left stuck under the stone. The blood trails that indicate that Zahir's body was dragged into the shaft and devoured by a bloodthirsty predator shock Nora to her core. Nora is consoled by Miles, who encourages her to join other people in escaping the pyramid to save their lives. Miles tells Suni that Zahir died trying to move the debris when he meets her, but Suni realizes that he is lying and is furious. Fitzy calms her down when she starts blaming Miles for leading her into a death trap. The group is pursued by deadly dangers through a tunnel as they are hopelessly lost within the intricate structure of the pyramid. Shaddad, an Egyptian soldier, finally saves them by moving faster. Despite the fact that Shaddad shoots the majority of the little animals with his firearm, he is gone after and eaten up by a bigger animal. The group gathers at a corner in complete terror. Fitzy observes that Suni's eyes are also not looking very good and that the scratch on her face is becoming infected. Before long, Miles runs over a cut wall painting that portrays sections from the Book of the Dead and its manual for eternality. He tells the group that the panel is a representation of the final judgment, the weighing of souls. This means that when someone died, they were brought before Osiris and a panel of judges. In order to determine whether or not they would enter the afterlife, the god Anubis weighed their hearts in front of Maat, the goddess of truth. The group enters a second tunnel shortly thereafter, which begins to fill with sand. The group starts to run in fear of being buried inside the sand trap, but Suni falls into a pit that is covered in spikes and pierces her. She is attacked by the deadly creatures before Fitzy can attempt to save her. Miles and Nora attempt to assist Suni after exiting the tunnel, but she succumbs to her injuries, forcing the team to retreat. Miles has been attacked by the creature, and Nora notices that his neck has begun to get worse. The remaining group, on the other hand, does not give up and continues to climb the pyramid. With the help of his camera, Fitzy fixes the faulty shorty and sends a recorded message outside. Miles records the video message to explain that he, his daughter, and a cameraman have become trapped at the excavation site and require assistance. He warns everyone that anyone who decides to help must bring guns, because the pyramid is full of dangerous creatures. Miles finds a secret room after recording the message. The group goes deep into the burial chamber, where they find the body of an explorer from the 19th century, and his journal, which says that the burial chamber could be a way to get out of the pyramid. A clawed hand suddenly pierces Miles' chest, ripping his heart out. Nora screams and begs Fitzy to help her father, but he pulls her away and tries to run away. Nevertheless, the burial chamber closes around them, encircling them. Despite Nora's resistance, Fitzy decides to return to face the deadly creature, because he has no other option. He uses his camera to see that Miles is still alive, and a large scale is attached to him. He sees the massive animal weighing Miles' heart to determine whether or not he is worthy to enter the afterlife. After that, the creature consumes Miles' heart and kills him. Nora recognizes the creature as the Egyptian god Anubis, who is half man, half jackal, and eats the hearts of those he finds to be unclean. After Fitzy shows her the footage of the creature leaving the chamber. After that, Fitzy locates the fallen soldier and seizes the gun from him. Nora, on the other hand, takes the flare out of Miles' body. She then comes across hieroglyphs in the room that show that the pyramid was built to trap Anubis, who is trying to get into the final gate of heaven with his father, Osiris. Fitzy keeps asking Nora to look for a way out and stop talking about history. Nora discovers that they can escape via the star shaft. Subsequent to checking out the room, they find a leave shaft with a stepping stool abandoned by Shaddad. When Fitzy discovers it, he follows Nora up the ladder. Anubis returns to pursue the pair as they ascend. In spite of the fact that Fitzy fires Anubis with the weapon, he is killed. Anubis catches Nora as she falls backwards. However, she eliminates Anubis by using the flare on him. Imagining that she disposed of Anubis, Nora ascends the stepping stool, however is by and by caught by him and reclaimed into the internment chamber. Nora uses a hidden blade in her hand to cut through the ropes, while she is tied to a pillar and Anubis is haunting her. She cuts Anubis's neck with the blade after breaking free. Anubis, still wounded, is then attacked by a group of the Danger Cats. Nora takes advantage of the opportunity to climb the shaft to escape while Anubis is being attacked. She does, however, pass out just as she is about to exit the pyramid. She wakes up a moment later to find a young boy holding her camera. Nora begs the boy to help her despite the infection and scratches, but Anubis appears from behind before she can respond. At the end, Anubis attacks them and the screen goes black. On IMDb, this movie has a 4.6 rating. This movie had a budget of about $6.5 million. And it made $16.9 million at the box office. I hope this video was enjoyed by all. If this is the case, then please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment on it.